Welcome back to the briefing. A little short time ago, the president was asked about this scene with Kid Rock, and the U.S. Army saying it has now suspended 2 Apache helicopter pilots and crew members who were seen hovering outside Kid Rock's Tennessee home over the weekend. The rock star posted this video while he saluted the helicopters, along with a message for California Governor Gavin Newsom. The president said he's going to look into this as to whether they should have been suspended. Our correspondent Heather Myers has more on the suspension and the special message Kid Rock had for Gavin Newsom. Heather?
The Army confirmed to me that the flight attracted the public's attention as well as the media's attention, and now those involved have been suspended from flight duty while the investigation begins. As you can see here from this video that Kid Rock posted on his social media pages, he is clapping and saluting the Apache helicopters. The 2 helicopters appear to briefly hover near the back part of Kid Rock's Nashville area home, which is known as the Southern White House. In the second post, he writes, "This is a level of respect that Expletive for Brains Governor of California will never know. God bless America and all of those who've made the ultimate sacrifice to defend her." The U.S. Army told me in a statement that it's now opened an investigation, and the personnel involved have been suspended from flight duties while the Army reviews the circumstances surrounding the mission, including compliance with relevant FAA regulations, aviation safety protocol, and approval requirements. Meanwhile, Kid Rock spoke to a Nashville area TV station and said he believes his home is in the flight path to Fort Campbell in Kentucky, and he often sees military aircraft flying by.
I was there last Thanksgiving with J.D. Vance, and I've talked to some of these pilots, and I've told them, I'm like, you guys see me waving when you come by the house? I'm like, you guys are always welcome to cruise by my house, like anytime. I think they're going to be all right. My buddy's commander-in-chief.
I did reach out to California Governor Gavin Newsom's office to find out if he wanted a response to the message that Kid Rock had posted on his X page. Well, a spokesperson in his office did get back to me with a one-line response reading, "Waste, fraud, and abuse." Reporting in San Diego, I'm Heather Myers, Newsmax.
All right, Heather, thank you. You saw Kid Rock posting on X that Gavin Newsom will never get a salute like that. I'm not sure that the military respects him quite as much. That was the point. So let's turn to a briefing on the exodus out of blue states like California. Many Americans voting with their feet. Look at this. New IRS domestic migration data within America. Tens of billions of dollars continue to move into low-tax states, not California, but say Florida, Tennessee, where Kid Rock lives. From 2022 to 2023, the largest net income gains came at the expense of high-tax states who lost residents, income, and opportunity. It means New York, California, and guess what? The California gubernatorial candidate on the Republican side, Steve Hilton, joined me last hour on The Big Take. Here's our conversation. Over 105,000 more residents left L.A. County than moved to it in the last year. Nearly 24,000 more left San Diego County, 20,000 more in Santa Clara County. And Gavin Newsom keeps telling us that people are moving to California. He said that on the debate on Hannity's show some months ago. Why do they keep lying to us?
Well, I mean, he's right in one respect. People do keep moving to California. It's the illegal immigrants who move to California because they get the free stuff that is paid for by the taxpayers who've had enough and are now leaving. That's been the business model. That's where, he brags about free health care for illegal immigrants in California. I will end that as governor. In Los Angeles, you have people who are legal immigrants like I am, absolutely incensed by the fact that where they pay their taxes and they did it the right way and became American citizens, either themselves or their parents or grandparents. You've got illegal immigrants now they see them in the grocery store with free EBT cards and free cell phones. They get their rent paid. It is just completely outrageous. And it all adds up to this situation where we have the highest taxes in the country for literally the worst results on everything that matters. People have had enough of that. As you say, they've been voting with their feet. But this November, they're going to vote for real in the ballot box. And we're going to get change in California when I'm elected governor.
And I think you're going to win because you got a primary coming up. I think it's June 2nd. USC was supposed to have a debate last week among the Democrat candidates, but they were all white candidates who made it, who reached the threshold based on fundraising and polling numbers. 4 candidates of Hispanic, Black, and Asian descent did not make the cut, as you know. So USC caved and canceled the debate. Here's what the former Obama spokesman Tommy Vitor said. The California Democrat Party needs to get it together ASAP and put a tent on this circus. The primary in June June. Ballots start getting mailed May 4th. Candidates who are not above 5% in the polls by April 15th need to drop out and endorse someone else. Steve, we started predicting about a year ago here on Newsmax that you had a real shot. Is this becoming a reality for you?
Well, I'm leading in the polls because people want change. We do have to be careful, though, because I think that consolidation on the Democrat side is going to happen. You've seen Eric Swalwell, I can barely believe I'm saying that, right now emerging as the Democrat frontrunner because he's picked up all the big union endorsements. SEIU, he got the teacher unions a couple of days ago. I'm sure Nancy Pelosi is not far behind. And you've got all the big Obama and Clinton, all these people still haven't endorsed. And so I think you're going to see them all get behind, ludicrously, Eric Swalwell. In other words, he's going to be rising in the polls. So actually, it's very important that on our side, too, we consolidate and get behind the leading Republican, that's me, because otherwise you can have a situation where instead of two Republicans in the top two, which a lot of people have been looking at, you have two Democrats, Eric Swalwell and the billionaire climate fanatic Tom Steyer.
Yeah.
That is a disaster of epic proportions, and we have to avoid it. The way to avoid it is for all the Republicans to get behind the leading Republican, and that's me.
So real quick, in terms of these blue cities and states, one other data point, Zohran Mamdani's got what he calls a free childcare program. And they just crunched the numbers. It's going to cost taxpayers there $60,000 per child for, quote unquote, free childcare. And that's just the rollout, not the ongoing operations. Seattle, as I said, you raise taxes and people flee. When will these blue states learn and these blue cities?
I know. It's that classic saying, which we can apply for different programs like this over the years. Let's just apply it to childcare. If you think childcare is expensive now, wait till it's free. Because, of course, it's not just the money that goes into it. Here's a very important thing to understand, which is when you have the government funding and organizing these kinds of programs, they, especially on the left, they always layer in all these extra costs and charges that make it more expensive. You've got to use union labor. You have to have all these ridiculous regulations met on the environment, whatever else it may be. In the end, you end up in this situation where it costs way more than if it was just delivered by the private sector. By the way, you touched on your opening there on the homeless industrial complex. That's why those apartment units are so expensive. Compared to if they were built by the private sector, these units are costing sometimes up to $1 million per unit. If the private sector built them, it'd be a quarter of that, literally 4 times as expensive because of all the nonsense that they layer onto it when it's run by the government.
Absolutely. Steve Hilton, it's going to be a very exciting between now and the beginning of June. Look forward to having you back soon, sir.
Great to see you, Ed. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.